So one of the oldest things in the Japanese tradition is the Japanese crane. It dates back some, I don't know, hundreds of years old, and it's used for protests and even for thousand crane wedding ceremonies and things like that. And this is a flapping bird. So another very interesting model in which you hold the base and the bird flaps its wings and you pull the tail. So I'm going to teach you these two today. So take two squares, one for the flapping bird and one for the crane. To some extent the folds are going to be similar, so I'll tell you where, at which point to split it from. So let's start with the first page. First are the diagonals. After you made the diagonals, you flip over the paper, and now this time you divide it into two. So this is like an accurate method to make the bird base. Like you find lots of bases in origami, so we are going to start with the bird base. So this is a very accurate way to make the bird base. So at this point you'll find that the paper is becoming like this, right? And exactly reverse of that, it turns into a triangle. So we have to take this base. This is called a bird base. Now you see there are 4 flaps, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now at every center flap we have to divide this further into 2. So take one of the sheets and you bisect the angle. Okay, unfold it back, the other side. So one face is done. So when you make a crease like this, like it folds towards the inside. Now let's take the second one. Open it, the other side. So open it and then you fold it like this on the inside. So you get a crease here. So 2 done. Now third one. You have to make sure that it's pretty accurate, these points and creases, because as I was saying, deviate an inch, lose 1,000 miles. So if you make a mistake in the beginning, or if there's no perfection in the beginning, then that like magnifies to a large mistake at the end. So 3 done. So for the fourth one, this is the last. Use both your hands, nicely. One to hold the paper, one to make sure that the edge or the corner is coming correct. It all depends on a lot of your accuracy. So you have done all the 4 parts. So lay it flat on the table and just press here. So you get this type of thing. So let's make 2 of these. So from this point onwards it splits into 2. So with one we'll make a crane, with one we'll make the flapping bird. Yeah, so both the bases are ready. So out of the yellow we'll make the crane, and out of the green we'll make the flapping bird. So let's start with the crane first. So here what you have to do is, like, you have a point at the top where the 4 flaps are meeting. Lift up one flap and opposite flap again you lift up. So make sure that this hump is in the center here. Okay. Now what you do, divide this angle further into two parts and make a nice sharp crease this side also. Flip it over, repeat the same thing. And repeat the same thing. In living origami, you will find a lot of symmetry. Like one fold repeats 4 times or 2 times. Okay, so this is done now. Now what you have to do is one of them is going to be the beak and one of them is going to be the tail. So let's fold this up. It's like an inside fold. Paper is getting thicker, and you align it with this with this line here. So it's not going any further than this point. Let's do the same for the tail. So you open this flap, you lift it from inside, and you close the flap again. And you align it with this line. There, that's it. Okay, so now when you start to lift up the two wings, you'll find that you have this hump kind of thing in the center. So before that, let's make the beak. So for the beak, you just open the flap and so there, your bird is ready. Now you have to like open the wings or stretch the wings, and you have to like slowly open it so that air fills in the center, like in the back, and just give a little twist to the wings, a little curved thing, and that's it. This is the Japanese crane, which they use for thousand crane wedding ceremony and things like that. Yeah, so the flapping bird. So this is going to be the hump. So this is one of them is a wing. Flip it over. That's the other wing. Then you open this. This is going to be the beak. Open this. This is going to be the tail. So basically, this is flat at the base. It's going to be like a flat. It's like a triangle. Okay. Now when you open the two wings, you'll find this thing. So pick the good one and we'll make the beak out of that. So for the beak, normally what I do, I fold it way down here. So even this will do, but I do a little modification. So from here I turn it back inside. My beak has become blunt now, and then I bring it back again after leaving a little distance. So this gives like a more realistic head of the bird. Okay, now the little difficult part, you have to hold here and you have to actually start curving the wings on both sides. Don't leave this center part. Okay, so now it's more or less curved in the front elevation, if you see. Now we have to teach the bird to fly. So start pulling at the wings. It won't happen, initially, but after 3-4 times, it learns how to fly. So that's a flapping bird. So that's the Japanese crane. And This is the flapping bird. So you hold here and you pull the wings. Two birds.